northeast corridor, and Gateway is sort of like joined at the hip with that. And delaying this more is just putting us all at risk, I think.
Well,
Just one other point that we were saying before. We knew for many years that as we've known for many years, that we have to replace the gateway tunnels. We knew for many years we have to replace the tunnels in certain subways. A bunch of professors came up a couple of years ago with a proposal to rehab them in place instead. The governor adopted the proposal. It's being done now. If it works, then that could be the model for us doing the same thing without the necessity of building new tunnels, but achieving the same thing much more cheaply. But we got to do one or the other, we'll see.
let me ask you, both of you, what do you think is the likelihood of securing federal funding for Gateway while President Trump is in office? Are you ruling it out?
Yes. I was present at a meeting in September of 2017, first year of the Trump administration. I hate to go to meetings with Trump, but Governor Cuomo insisted that I be there. So I was there. Governor Cuomo, Governor Christie of New Jersey, half a dozen members, the 4 senators from the 2 states, and half a dozen members of the congressional delegation, bipartisan both states. And the point of the meeting was to make sure that the Trump administration would continue the commitment to the gateway tunnels of that we had previously. We had an agreement with the federal administration, with the Obama administration, with the FHWA. That agreement was reached on a technical level, was reached on a political level. Every level is a standard recognition of the highest nature of this project. So we go through the meeting, and the president asks, Cuomo then explains the necessity for the tunnel. Secretary Chow, the Secretary of Transportation, was there too. And the president just listens. And the president then says, what's the federal match? You know, how much are we going to pay? And the governor says, well, it'll be 50-50. And the president says, what's the normal match? And Governor Cuomo says, well, normally, depending on the nature of the project, the federal government pays 90% or 70%, but here we're only asking 50. The president turns to the transportation secretary, says, is that true? She says, yes, it is. We walk out of the meeting, I thought, if it was anybody else, no question. It being Trump, I said, who knows? The next day, he came out against it. So I've known since then that it's an absolute anti-New York or anti-something prejudice, and nothing's going to go through it. We're just going to have to beat them.
Let's keep flying here. Let's talk about Penn Station. This plan that Governor Cuomo has most recently laid out in his State of the State calls for expanding, adding 8 new tracks. Is this plan, in your opinion, prudent? Does it solve the problems that you perceive to be the biggest problems at that transit hub?
It very much solves the problems. It's absolutely essential for the same reasons that Gateway is essential. And Gateway, in fact, is essential to that project. But Gateway is essential for a lot of other reasons, but the project is totally essential for all commuter rail traffic into and out of Manhattan, all traffic in the Northeast Corridor, Amtrak, etc. It's absolutely essential. There have been various different versions of the plans, this construction, that construction. I generally approve of the current governor's proposal, but there's always room for minor negotiations, but basically it's absolutely essential.
Congressman, anything you want to add?
No, I think it's critical, and the Gateway is also very much connected to that. If you take Penn Station, as I did today, you will know that it's not a first-class transportation hub by any means, right? In fact, I
That's
think
a joke in a room like
I
that.
think it has beaten even LaGuardia Airport. So it's important that we have a first-class transportation hub, and I think that connecting it with Gateway is important, and I support the governor's plan.
Let's move to congestion pricing. passed in Albany last year, of course, projected to start in January of 2021, needs approval from the Trump administration. Governor Cuomo recently expressed skepticism that that will get signed off on anytime soon. Do either of you have any insight into this, whether the federal government is going to want some kind of extensive environmental study done, or what's the holdup, and will it start as planned?
I don't think anything will get done until after November, I mean, frankly, and after this year. Congestion, I was supportive of congestion pricing back when I was in the state assembly. That model has changed somewhat, made it more appealing to folks that were against it. I continue to think it's an important model to reduce the gridlock, and I feel very strongly that if you could roll down in your Jaguar or your Beamer and park for $40, $50 midtown, and you know that's a commodity. You should be able to up $8, and hopefully that will improve our public transportation system and make it appealing for more people to take public transportation and less vehicular traffic down in the business district. So I'm fully supportive of it. I thought it was good back then. I think it's probably better now. Some of the tweaks were made a little bit better, but I'm not sure that this administration will move it forward.
Congressman Nadler, I want to let you respond to that as well, but I'll add this, that there has been some speculation that maybe some state lawmakers are also kind of happy to drag their feet on congestion pricing, seeing as there are statewide elections coming up. What have you heard to that effect?
Well, nothing specific recently, but historically there's been a lot of opposition to congestion pricing. State lawmakers, city lawmakers all over. I'm not shocked to hear that lots of people are still opposed to it. It's clearly necessary. We won that battle in New York a number of years ago. And everything was going fine as far as with the federal government, although I'm hearing now that they're not doing it, that they're going to oppose it. And I attribute that as I attribute the position on Gateway, the position on the rail freight tunnel, and the position of 14th Street Busway, just anti-New York. Anything to help New York, they're against.
Let's talk about some transit alternatives. Congressman Espa, actually, this is more specific.